Okay, here we are. I'm going to show y'all some of the components right quick. This is a pressure reducer. Takes everything down to around 10 pounds. This is the end. This is the end sleeve, and it goes on the T-tape. I'll show you how it works here in a little bit. This is a filter. It's got like a screen on the inside of it. Hose pipe up. I'll show you over here in a minute what it looks like. This is the little tool that you use to poke the hole into this pipe here, and then you'll insert this end here into the pipe, and this end here, which has got like a little barb. I don't know if you'll be able to tell it. The sleeve, the T-tape will slide up over that, and then I will screw this down. I'll show you how it works. And here's a little cutaway of what it looks like. There's the inside. It's got like little veins. The water goes in up here on this top piece right there with the little small veins, runs down this piece, and then comes out right there at that little small hole. I just cut one in half to kind of show what it looks like. Hopefully there's enough of light out here that you can see that, and it's focusing good enough. But that's how it does. It's not really actually a media in there. It's just some little pieces of plastic. Okay, let's get over here. Here's what I was saying about the filter. Is right there. And it comes in, and you've got your connections that go out and go down through there. So here's what. This is the timer that I have on here. This is the little pressure reducer. Once it comes out, and then, like I say, it runs over to the filter, runs over that way, comes back around, and comes out this way. Okay, let me see if I can get right here and show y'all how to put one of these on. It's not real hard. Actually, it's pretty simple. Hopefully y'all be close enough, because I know this thing makes it look like it's a lot further away than it is. What you do is you just take the little tool and figure out about where the center of your thing is. And I've got little pieces of wire here holding this pipe down because it wanted to curl, because it was new pipe and it was all curled up. So you just take this tool and you just poke it in like that. Let me see if I can get y'all just a little bit closer. You just poke it in. Okay. Let me see if I can set y'all right there. You can maybe see it a little better. Okay, once you poke this in, I usually take it and roll it around a little bit, because these ends are pretty good. It's got to go in here, and the end, this little barb, it's got to go in, is pretty decently sized. Once you get it in there, and you just take your hand, and get you on this side here. And you just get your hand and you just start working it. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but once you get it in there, it's pretty much okay. There it is. It's in. Okay, that part's done. Make sure you keep up with your little key. They only send you 3. You have to buy them. And they usually send 3 in a pack, so try to keep them put up. Okay, the next thing you do is I usually take this. It's a little bit cold out here today, so what I usually do is just take my finger and here, I'll tell you what. Let's do. Since we have them, take my pliers and see if I can stretch it a little bit. Needed a regular pair of needle nose. These, the handles want to collapse on me. Okay, and then what you got to do is put it up on here. You know what, I'm going to have to get a pair of needle nose. Be right back. Some handles just ain't going to do it. Okay, just take a pair of needle noses, see it up in here, stretch it a little bit, because it's not going to hurt, because when it goes up on there, it goes up on a little knurl there. What you do is once you get it pushed up on there, then you can just crank this down. I gotta make sure it's all the way on there first. Screw that back. You can see the little knurl there. Once this tightens down, it can't go anywhere. Okay, now you can't even pull that off. Don't like the way that looks, so let's redo that right quick. May have stretched it a little too much. Yeah. Wrong way. That would have probably been alright. Well, let's just go ahead and redo it. Don't take that much more time, and we'll just we've still got enough room right here to see if we can just push it up on there without doing a whole lot with that pair of needle nose. That needle nose, what it did is it started made like a stretch mark on it right there. I don't like that. I don't want it to leak, pop off one day when or spring a big leak while I'm not up here, because water's at like 5 o'clock in the morning. And almost done it again, but not too bad. But there's one thing about it: once you screw this down onto this, the way that fitting hooks on there, it's pretty much you're not going to have any problems with it. So I'll grab both ears, I guess. Okay, done. Now we want to turn this. I like to turn the emitters down. If you see, there's an emitter right there that lets the water out. I usually turn it down. That's the way I've got it out through there, pulled all the way. Now, we've got that part done. Let me get y'all back on a tripod here. Makes it easier for me holding this camera and all. We got to go to the other end and put on the little part that stops it on the other end. End cap part. End cap. Grab one of these. And the way I pulled my tape out, it comes on these big rolls. This is a 6,000 foot roll, and I just kind of looped it back into some of the other in the pieces. But I just usually set up a little set of sawhorses, put a couple of screws, put a piece of pipe across there, and then you can pull it. It's not real heavy. This is the company it came from. It came from China, which everything's coming from China now. But my son, I don't know, I think he found it on eBay. There's some of the telephone numbers. I don't know if y'all can make them out, but that's the name of it. You probably can type that in on eBay and it'll probably come up. Okay, well, to the other end. And you can see right there how it all just comes out of the faucet. Like I say, I've had it off because we've had some rain, and we're going to get rain again. So until we get into a little dry weather, I won't turn it back on. But the filter, and like I say, you got the timer, the regulator for the pressure, and then you get over here to a filter, and then it just runs out. Okay, let me walk down here, and you can see how it wrinkles up, and I'll explain what this here is here in a minute. A guy named Larry Hall on YouTube does some of this, some of that. I don't know, I can't remember what he calls it. My wife wanted to try it out. But on this end here, I'm going to try and just keep this, pull it right up to the camera. I don't know if I can or not. So let me get y'all a little bit closer. This camera stuff, I ain't used to it. I'm used to using my phone. doing hands for, having one hand tied up. Let me see if I can turn it where I can get you a good view. I just go ahead and usually pull it tight, and then you have to make sure you have like a little emitter. That emitter is kind of like a little piece of plastic in there. It's that filter. So what you want to do is you want to take this, and you'll see it's got a little end and then it's got a bigger end. You want to slide the small end in and let it pull up on the pipe. Okay. When you get it done there, you want to take this tape here and you want to fold it just in like little 1-inch increments until you catch up with the fitting itself. Then you want to pack all that up into the fitting, the little end cap here, and then pull it tight. And you can pull it too tight. You just want to pull it up to where, well, see, there's too tight. You want to make sure that it don't come off like that, but so it's easy to over pull it. I mean, it's not something that I just took and pulled it a little too hard, but right there's good. Okay, and then that's pretty much it. I usually take and go ahead and find a little rock or two and just kind of put on the ends while the stuff's coming up. But that's pretty much it. It's just called T-tape. I started using it when I saw MHP Gardener using it. Let's see if I can get a rock to put on there. It don't hurt to put a rock on the end of the emitter here. I mean, on this little end cap. It just keeps it pulled tight, because the other end out there, I've got some little wire things holding it. Okay, well, that's that. If you want to know what that thing here is, it's actually got a sensor on it, and it's called a Scarecrow. You can buy them at Walmart, and it's just got a eye on it like you would for a light, and when you walk by it, it will make the sprinkler come on for like 2-3 seconds, and it'll cut right back off. But my deer usually come from those woods right in there, and they come right by my grapevines there, and they come out. Well, this thing will sense all the way over to that where that white flower, that azalea is, so it'll take care of the deer right in here. Then I have another, just in case they come in from up that way, I have this thing here, and it's just actually a light. Just throw it up there hillbilly style. It's got a light on it, and it comes down and it plugs in. I've got it unplugged right now because there's a radio, and the radio will go off too. And I've just got it tied up there with a piece of string. Hopefully the squirrels don't get in there and chew the string off. But I just got it set on a radio station, and when it sets off, it starts blaring out music, so the deer get scared and take off. So far, I've not had them take down my grapevines. Usually they're pretty, I guess because it's usually pretty full and they can actually see the wires. Another thing is the guy told me about is take fishing line and put 4 poles on all 4 corners of your garden and take a piece of fishing line and pull all the way around it. And they don't like that. But, okay, this is going to be a little bit of a long video because I want to try and get in a decent amount of stuff. That's the reason I use my GoPro, because my phone will cut off after, I think it's like 10 minutes of video in, or maybe a little longer. But what I did is I took some sewer pipe, and you can buy it at Lowe's. I just went down to Lowe's and picked up some. And you get your trench dug, which I use my little tiller, my little Troy-Bilt tiller. It's a little 4-stroke tiller. And I just went down through there, and the ground's pretty soft anyway because it's been tilled before and this year. So I went ahead and dug it in and put a cap on this end. And then on this end up here, I got to get me a stepping stone to put on here instead of this piece of metal. Let me see if I can set y'all down here and I'll show it to you. It's kind of a neat idea. If y'all don't like these videos being so long, let me know. I just trying to get a lot of stuff put into one video. There's the pipe that's in there, the end of it on this end. And I went ahead and glued a cap on this end. But before I did that, I took and drilled a hole in it, and I put a float valve. And I don't know, his name's Larry Hall from, I think it was Brainerd, Minnesota. He does this, and my wife saw it. But there's a little float right here. Let me see if I can get y'all just a little bit closer. Just take it off the tripod. There it is. Let's see if I can get you in there. There we go. And you can see kind of how I drilled a hole in there. And maybe that'll give you an idea of how it's done. But I just drilled the hole in there, and it's got a little adjustment on it. You just hook it up to a hose pipe, and this pipe, you want to get it to where it's within almost coming out over these edges here. He said within about a 1/2 inch of coming over of the top of the pipe. I just cut another little piece of pipe that was extra, just to kind of pop over it. That keeps dirt and all out of it. I needed a little piece that didn't have a hole in it though. But that's pretty much it. You just put that in there, hook it up, and what you do is you get these little neti cups and take and get a bag from like Walmart, one of their reusable bags, the little cloth like type bags. You go in the center of the bottom of it, and when my wife does it, she's waiting on her little cups to get here, the little 3-inch cups. You cut a hole in the bottom of it. Just cut it, flip it over, use the small end, cut a hole right in the bottom of the bag, and then you take some like weed control stuff and put it down over the cup. Just if you look at Larry Hall, just type it in YouTube, it'll come up and you'll see he's got a lot of stuff that he does in the grow bags, and there's a lot of people doing it now, so it's not real hard. But that's what this is going to be. I hadn't drilled my holes in it. He said usually he did his and he drilled holes in it, and he said when he was trying to cover it up, he had a mess. So I just put mine in here. It's done. It's all completely level. It's somewhere around 22 foot, I think. But I just took some of the dirt that was right there and just kind of pushed it down here. Wanting that, like I say, all that's been tilled all the way up to that, almost within about 2 inches of that faucet, that yard hydrant there. So it's all been tilled before, so it wasn't really hard dirt to move. But my wife and me got here and we got it all done, and this is where she's going to set those grow bags. You may even can type that into YouTube as just grow bags, and it may come up. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be much of a better system than what we got there now. We've got the T-tape into the garden, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more rolls that I can do. I took and trimmed my grapes up this year. I don't know if y'all have seen pictures of them, I think last year on my YouTube video. My cherry tree finally broke. It's I don't know, it's some kind of disease that's in the woods. Some trees around here get it, some don't. But it finally, it's close to 20 years old. I guess it was just susceptible to the disease, but I'll show you what it looks like. Some of the trees around here get it and some don't. But it's just that old fungus stuff. And you can see how it kind of just dried up and broke off. But I'm going to go ahead and just cut it off right at the stump and let it see if it'll come back out off of the stump itself. There's another little tree that came up off of one of its roots. So, alright, well there's the phone ringing. Well, I'm doing a video right now. That's alright. But here's the peach tree. There's one of them. It had a bunch of blooms on it. You can actually see a little peach starting. And there's the other peach tree. You can see the little peaches on it. Some of these will be pulled off, but you can see them right in there. I mean, there's a good many. I'll wait till they get just a little bit bigger, figure out which ones I want to pull off. First thing I'd to do is get up here and get some hot sauce or something and put on them, because last year the deer eat every one of them. There's my blueberries. They hadn't. I'm gonna start doing a lot more fertilizing on those. They just hadn't. They really hadn't got up and went like they ought to. I mean, I've been putting some of that. When I put them in the ground, I actually put a little bit of that compost up there. But there's the grapes. They're starting. That was my son that called. He's looking at buying some radios, some of those Bofang radios. So, but there's the grapes. We did the best we could with trimming them up this year. They got out of hand one year, and that's what happens when you let them get out of hand for just 1 year. The vines kind of just go everywhere. So we got that, and then this is my compost pile right in here. I've probably took about 6 scoops out of it already. My wife did that the other day. She come in here. I need to push it all back up. I'm going to try and put my sweet potatoes right in here. It's just trying to get them to grow down there on the table. I'll get them on that grow light. There's some of the other goat waste that we put, and I just start putting it in there like that, and I'll start throwing some chicken waste on it here before long, and I'll start taking the tiller and running all over it. I'll get it all tilled up, and I'll probably take a little bit of this and throw over there just to get some good bacteria going in it. But here's another little thing that me and my wife, we just do together one day. It's our onions, and these were actually just little buds, and those were onions we bought at Lowe's that were about 5 inches long, and these have actually outpassed them by a lot. Then she's got a few herbs here planted. So this year we're trying to get a little bit more stuff going, but it's just, you know, trying to get things going. I've got my hose here, and it goes down there to my water barrels. I may be turning really quick. I don't know. I've never used one of these GoPros before, except for, you know, down there at the meeting the other day and one other video. So, but yeah, you can see in the window yonder some of our tomato plants. There's all the goats out running around. She just took them in the front yard and let them eat for about 45 minutes or 30, something like that. But yeah, there's I've still got to get some rocks and put on the ends of these. I don't know, I guess them kids got them off. I had rocks on the ends of them, but you can see kind of how it weaves right in between the potatoes. Here before long, I'll re-hill these potatoes, go back in, and I'll run my tiller, my hand tiller, down both sides, all down through here. Then I'll come back in with my hiller and hill them one more time. So we're getting there. But like I say, that barrels right there will fill up usually in a decent rain. It's 110 gallons, and that's what we've been using to water the onions with over there. So I think what I'm going to do is grab some, those lids up there come off. I think I'm going to go ahead and grab me up some goat waste down there, some of their poop, put it in a painter's bag, and just get up there and dunk it down in there and just tie the end of it up and just let it float in there until I, you know, hook it to the top where it can't get down there to the bottom. But in that way it'll be, you know, I don't want it to get to where it smells really bad though. So if I do it, it'll be one day when we actually use all the water on the grapes and on the onions all at once. I may even stick an aerating stone down in there. I've got power right there, so I may grab me a little pump and throw some and just put it aerated all the time. We'll see. But yeah, that's what I'm up to today. That's what I've got done. This is a project that's, I know my pipe got a little crooked when I was filling it up. I got a little dirt on the one end more than I did the other, so it kind of got a little bit crooked. I'm a perfectionist. I almost started to dig it back up and redo it, but my wife was like, we were going to the house to eat, so I was about ready for it too. So there it is. There's all I've got done so far. I'll make another video here before long showing all the other stuff. Like I say, all the goats down there. Let me walk down here and I'll see if my small chickens are out. See if my little barred rocks. They were really small, and this is how big they've gotten already. They're getting pretty big. There they are. There's 10 of them. One of them's a little different color. This one here is a little bit different color than the rest of them. I don't think it's going to be a rooster. They're supposed to all be hens. But I just got their little water hanging there and all, but they're getting big. Getting about 16 eggs a day. I got to clean their pen out. But you can see kind of how that stuff works. I hadn't really put much in there this year. Their poop's so small, but the ducks are what's rough.